Well, hello. Come right on in. You're at Father Fish. Nice to have you with us. AQUARIUM COP, how are you this morning?
I'm good.
Ugh,
There was a little incident at my door this morning.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Out of nowhere, someone knocked on my door
Wasn't me.
at 6:30, at 6:20 this morning.
Oh my word.
And I looked through the peephole and I saw two young girls there. So I didn't see it as a threat. And since I have two daughters, I was wondering, are they my daughter's friends and they're here to tell me something? So I cracked the door open very small. I was like, "What's up?" They're like, "Hi, Nick." And I'm like, I'm not Nick. I'm like, "What do you want?" They're like, "We're here for the stuff."
Oh no.
No.
Yep. Swear to God.
Oh
And it made me so sad because they were like 14, like one was 14 in my visual, one was 14 and one was 15. They wanted to come in, like, "Yeah, Nick, we're here. Let's come in. Let's get the stuff." And I was like,
man.
so I opened the door fully and like, "Oh, you're not Nick."
No.
You know, and I was like, "All right, bye. Be safe, you know." And then I called my landlady and I said, I don't know what's going on. Is there someone in the neighborhood named Nick? Because two young girls just knocked on my door looking for drugs. I don't know what kind. She's like, "Oh, did you ask what kind?" And I'm like, "No." They just asked me, "Nick, do you have the stuff?" And they were ready to come in. And I was like, "I'm not Nick. I don't have the stuff. Sorry, bye."
Wow.
So my landlady, so I called her because she's very protective over me, and she apologized. She's like, "Oh, so," I'm like, "It's not your fault. There's some guy in the neighborhood named Nick that's supplying drugs to young girls. So look into it." So there's a lot of people in here that have cameras and stuff, and they'll figure it out. But it just made me sad seeing these two young girls, you know, stressing, looking for like drugs, and just terrible. It was just terrible.
Wow. Yeah. What a way to start the day, huh?
Yeah, breaks your heart. They have no idea.
Yep.
What it's going to do to them.
They would, I like just say I was crazy. I'm like, "Come on in," pull, like they would have walked in, you know, like it's so terrible. The innocence in their eyes, but the desire for drugs was protruding through their face. You know, like I'm like, "Sorry, this not here. Wrong door." Like I can just picture like, you know, some news station going like, "There he is." Like I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." You know, like what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
It just, bottom line, it was sad.
Yes.
Yeah, they're children.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. And I have daughters, so it kind of broke my heart.
Yeah. Wow.
So let's get on a good note. and I'll shut up.
Love you, Cop.
Bone Lee. T-Bone said he thought it got kicked out. Actually, the whole stream got kicked out because
I should have invited them in and let them watch Father Fish.
There you go.
Maybe
that would have
turned around.
Yeah, well, they would
and I'd be in jail too.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, you know, and the thing is, they're kids, so you know that's a whole different can of worms. Dealing with children and drugs.
It just makes my whole insides get just tore up thinking about it, because they don't.
Right.
That's the thing. People recovery from this, whatever some people call it illness, some people call it choice. Yep. Whatever it is, you don't realize how long it's going to affect your life. Yep. Like you have to live with it forever. And Just pray for them. That's all I can do, and hope.
Amen. Oh, Paul C. Good morning, Paul C. Tisha GRB. Good morning, GRB. T-Bone, Mary Page, Craig. Hi, Craig. Roman Sharrock. Good morning, Roman. One Dirty Platty is here. Hello, hello. Alexander Lee. Hatched my first batch of baby brine yesterday. Never seen my face sheet like that. That's pretty cool. Good job, Alexander. Yep, Psychedelic Hippocampus is here. Good morning, good morning. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? What was that? Here Fishy is here. Good morning, Here Fishy. Nice to see you. We need to play your song today. Oh, glory. I woke up. Man, I had a rough night. Yesterday, I could not get control of my blood sugar. It went up. Oh, it was terrible. It was up over 200 most of the day.
Oh, wow.
I kept doing shots. I kept covering it, and it wouldn't come down, wouldn't come down, wouldn't come down. I finally took another 10 units before I went to bed, and I got up about 2:30, went to the bathroom, came back, checked my blood sugar. I was sweaty. I was chilled.
Oh, no.
It was awfully cold. It was 46.
Oh, my goodness.
46. It's supposed to be dead at 46.
Yeah, I was going to say.
60 is the problem limit. Yeah. So
is your roommate there that would? Sorry.
Well, I sat there and I ate something right away. I had some cookies and watermelon I had bought yesterday, so I ate that. Ate a cookie and ate some watermelon. And went back to sleep. And I got up at 6:15, and it was 1:35. So it's elevated again. So I took 10 units and I ate breakfast. So I'm hoping I can get control of this thing. I haven't checked it since then, but I'll check it later.
Yeah. And if you feel like you got to go check it, you go check it.
Yeah, well, I can do it sitting here. I'm good. Hi, Lee. Lee's saying no matter what. And that is kind of his mentality. Here it is. COP. God bless you. I have two daughters, too, 30 and 21. Thankfully, no trouble for or from them. So and I always talk to them about everything and anything. They can always come to us. Amen. Amen. I talk to my daughter. My daughter. I deserve my daughter. I really do. As the further I get along, the more I realize I deserve my daughter. My daughter was born in Eden and was thrown out of the garden with her parents. With her parents, no less. And so by the time she was 13, she was doing hard knocks. With her parents separating and things just falling apart. And she was with me. I sent her to live with her mother because her mother had remarried a very nice, very wealthy old gentleman, a sweet Brit. And she hated him. My daughter hated him. Broke the marriage up. And became just a very hostile from then on. Mainly, I think, because she had a lot to be angry about. Not the least of which was my sending her to live with her mother. So that continued for 20 years. all during which time she put herself through college, earned a master's degree, is working on a PhD, very intensely focused, um, and a person for whom friendship means more than family, which I can appreciate. It's
Yeah.
funny because she was an only child, and I can remember when she was little thinking to myself, I really need to teach her how to make friends. Because when her parents are gone, there isn't going to be anybody, there isn't going to be any family for her. And by God, I succeeded far too well. But the upshot of it all is that what I also instilled in her was a drive for success, um, and for service. And she's developed that to the nines. I mean, she is utterly extraordinary. She's developed a school in Maryland for autistic children that is one of the top schools of its type in the country. There simply is not a better facility with better results. She has 60 children in the program, 30 staff, has a beautiful old time school building, an old turn of the century school building that's been completely outfitted and rehabbed for these extraordinary little kids, has become successful and wealthy. And she really is both successful and wealthy by her mid 40s. She's accomplished what I set out to accomplish, but she's made it, and I fell off the wagon somehow.
I know the feeling.
So yeah, really. So
Yeah.
I called her up. I was really in trouble this week, financially. Just having that in 2 weeks, nothing coming in, bills piling up. Finally got overdrawn at the bank and could not see a way clear. Money was just not coming in. I've never asked her for money before. I've always been the one to give her money when she needed it. And she could always smell it on me. So whenever I got a call, somehow she knew about it. It was hitting me up. It was this was a few years back. She needed 10 grand for a very serious matter. And fortunately, I had just settled on an insurance claim, so was able to give it to her. And she paid it back. I got every bit of it back. I finally donated the last of it to her school. So I called her up. She never answers the phone. That was hopeless. So I sent her a message saying that I had a financial problem and I was hoping she was flush and could help me. She sent back a 2-word text. How much?
Oh.
So I told her how much. And she sent me back a text that said, how do I send it? And I said, PayPal. And the next text was, what's your account name? And I sent her that. And there it was.
It's amazing, isn't it?
So I sent her back a thank you and a bit effusive. It was like 3 lines long. I really kind of went overboard. And she gave me a thumbs up. So, and that was the whole conversation.
Yeah.
Basically 2 words. Amazing. And she's kind of that way. I mean, sometimes I'll get her on the phone. A few times a year, maybe. And we'll chat kind of endlessly about her school. Because I find it absolutely fascinating. And the way she's dealing with it, I find really fascinating. She's just brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. She is light years ahead of where I was at that age. And mainly, it's on a level of just sheer steel in the spine.
Yep.
I mean, if something's coming up against her, she will go toe to toe.
Yes.
And I never did that. I didn't cower exactly, but I felt like as a Christian I should not fight back. I had
See,
this extreme pacifism attitude.
yeah.
And I wish at that time, that's when Trump was going through his empire building. I was doing the same thing at the same time, but I did not have his steel spine. If I somehow had that, I would be in a very different place than I am today. But maybe my daughter would too. I don't know. She seems to have come out of it, with flying colors. So God bless her. And she carries on a great tradition. She really does. A long, long family tradition. So I had to get that one off my chest. My delightful daughter, who is amazing.
That is wonderful. And I kind of know that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you're okay. It's nothing. I was just going to say, I kind of know that feeling with this one here, my oldest one. She's just brilliant. I don't know how I did it, but she's got, like you said, that backbone. And then to go through all this mess.
Really?
That is so wonderful of your daughter. It really is. And
it constantly amazes me.
Yeah.
What she's been able to do. And she's living in a home that's one of the very nicest homes on Kent Island in Maryland, overlooking the Bay Bridge. She's got about 500 feet of prime waterfront property. Just in a beautiful old colonial home that was built in the late 1700s, was actually lived in by the British when they were in the War of 1812, when they were invading D.C. and Annapolis, Maryland. They had that house as a local headquarters. There was a general living there.
Oh, wow.
So there's that history, to the place she's living. And she has a 7-year-old daughter who is an utter joy, an amazing. She is a waif. She is a fairy princess.
Oh.
She is an amazing, amazing child. So we're her mother and I talk to her mother weekly. We talk every week. And we wonder we wish we could be around to see what becomes of this little girl.
Oh my goodness.
Her mother has her in her school. She is a normal in the school, getting all of the education that she needs, but functioning with autistic children. And thoroughly enjoying it. She has a lot of friends outside the spectrum, but a lot of friends in the spectrum too.
Yeah.
So which I did too growing up. My father was the pastor of a church for deaf people, and I was around that my whole life. Grew up in it, as did he before him. So this is an old tradition that we're carrying on in this family.
That's a wonderful tradition.
And growing up around the world's extraordinary people. Well, I hope you found something you've never seen before. Have a great day. Nice having you with us. Come on back.